I don't really know why or how other authors end up with a series exactly, whether they start out thinking, this is what it's going to be, or whether it's more like I do, and that is, it just sort of develops. And that's how the Arizona series has done. And as far as I know, there's going to be 2 more of them than there already are. But will that be all? I don't know. I've got it up now to 1902, and the hero of this particular book was in another book. He was in the earlier book, one of the earlier books, and he's the younger brother. And he has what today we would call mentally challenged. Back then it was considered slow-witted, dummy, stupid, things like that. He couldn't do things the way other people could. He couldn't read as someone else. He never could learn to read. And he doesn't respond to people the same way. And it's led him, between the fear of his parents, because his mother and father were afraid that he would be institutionalized, which did happen sometimes to people who were different back then. And once you got into one of those institutions, you didn't get out. So it wasn't totally bad that they would have thought this. I mean, maybe they could have been more helpful to him if they hadn't been fearful, but they were. And they led him to avoid people. And he spent most of his time growing up with animals, which he was very good with. He had a natural skill with animals. And he could communicate with them as he couldn't with humans. So we're picking his story up in 1902, and he is been asked by his brother, who's now married and happily married, whether he will help train this horse for his brother's wife, for her sister. And Jesse really doesn't want to do this, but he is good with horses, and he's been working with horses, training them, as well as working on a ranch out in the area where he has his home, way out on the desert. And he agrees to do this, but he doesn't really want to be around this woman at all, because he's found that he stays away from people, things go better for him. He just doesn't, it avoids problems. But when she takes one look at him, she's an artist. She sees something in him that he wouldn't even want to admit was there. And she's not going to easily give up on what she wants with this man that is so beautiful and has so many wonderful qualities. And she wants him to see those things about himself. The best part about this book for me, of course, the romance. I always like writing romances, and I like a character like Jesse, someone who seems to have a challenge, and yet he has so much going for him. He's such a good man. And then to be able to set this story out on the desert, this couple end up spending a lot of their time out on the Arizona desert. And although I've written a lot of books in the Southwest, most of them have been either central Arizona or further south in the ranch land of Arizona or in Tucson. So this particular book, where it is a lot out on the desert itself, and this couple and the adobe home that Jesse has out there, just made it a very enjoyable thing for me to write. It's called Lands of Fire, and it will be published November 5th.